What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Mr. Corpo podcast. Last week, we talked about 3 ways to make your team hate you, and it's only fair that this week we come back, we balance it out, and we show you 3 ways to make your team love you. Now, I want to be clear. Being a boss isn't about trying to be popular. It isn't about trying to get the love. It can't be. It shouldn't be. So let that go. In fact, when we say love, we don't mean popular or a crush. We're talking about respect. We're talking about people appreciating you because you do things the right way. Okay, let's get to work. In my book, How to Be a Boss, I talk about 10 ways to make your team love you. But here is a sampling of 3 ways to make your team love you. 1, be honest. 2, jump on grenades. 3, celebrate birthdays. Let's get to work. Number 1, be honest. This is simple. Honesty is always the best policy. We've talked about this before in the Mr. Corpo podcast, but you can never repeat yourself enough. You know that's one of my tenets of being a good communicator. Be honest. Don't waste your energy triangulating feedback. Don't use generic Corpo catchphrases just because you heard someone else use them. Don't waste your energy trying to hide mistakes or unflattering results. If you screw up, own it. If someone else screws up, there's a 90% chance the person already knows they messed up. So don't play politics and waste half your time not saying what you actually want to say. Figure out what went wrong and fix it. Everyone respects honesty, even when it hurts a little bit. Now, when I think of this example of be honest, I think of an example my little brother called and told me he had to give someone feedback at work, and he said he wasted the entire 30 minutes trying to hint at what the feedback was, but not come out and actually say it. And he came out of the meeting and he felt like, I'm not sure if she really got it or not. I'm not sure if she understood what I was trying to say. And the whole point is, of course, you can't turn this into like a language interpretation process. Be honest, say what you want to say. People will respect you getting to the point so they can get on with their lives. Now, of course, there's going to be a tone and an order of things that you need to do, but the point is be honest. That's it. It's really simple. Okay, that's the first way to make your team love working with you. The second way I want to talk about is called jumping on grenades. Perhaps the easiest way to make your team appreciate you is to jump on a grenade. When something goes wrong in a meeting in front of your boss, you have 2 choices. You can either sit back and do nothing, letting your team members struggle, fail, and ultimately look bad. This is called the throwing your employee under the bus technique. Or you can step up, take responsibility, and shield your employee from any further embarrassment while moving the meeting in a positive direction. This is called the jump on the grenade technique. Now, if you're selfish enough to think that saving face in front of your boss is better than standing up for your team, you are fundamentally misunderstanding the role of a good boss. Your job is to support your team and to look good through their actions and achievements. Hiding behind poor performers is a coward's game, and it will stunt your ability to take on bigger responsibilities in the future because your team, your boss, they're all going to doubt your integrity. Even if it is 100% not your fault, even if the employee did exactly the opposite of what you told them to do, I want you to jump on the grenade. It will show leadership. It will protect the team morale. It's that simple. And here's a little pro tip for you. Don't allow yourself to be worried about your own reputation. It's easy to circle back with your boss and explain to your boss that you are jumping on the grenade and that you'll discuss directly with the team member how to improve their performance. If you take the time to explain your actions to your boss, they'll likely have more respect for you based on the priority you place on championing your team. So jump on the grenade. Don't be worried about your own reputation. Protect the people on your team from embarrassment or going down the wrong path. This is an easy way, a tried and true way to make people love and appreciate you. So the first one was be honest. The second one was jump on a grenades. The third way to make your team love you is a really simple one, but it's very important, and it's more important than most people realize. And it is celebrating birthdays. Now, I know this sounds silly, but give me a listen. Everyone likes to have their existence acknowledged. Your job as a boss is to constantly find ways, little and big, to let your team know that each of them matters to you. They aren't just cogs in a wheel. One of the easiest ways to do this is to celebrate each team member's birthday. Now, what I want you to do is assign someone on your team to be in charge of keeping a birthday calendar. Now, there's always someone on the team who loves doing this, who wants to be a party planner. So find them and be sure that you pay for the celebration. Whether it's a lunch for everyone, whether it's donuts, whether it's coffee, whether it's flowers for the birthday person, don't forget balloons, whatever the case may be, celebrate the birthdays. And here's something that people don't always recognize. Those birthday cards, they're really an important part of this entire process, because having the entire team sign a card is another way to spread the love. While it may seem like a meaningless gesture to have everyone sign the card, it's actually a powerful physical reminder that you're all in this thing called work together. And by signing your name to the card for each birthday throughout the year, you and the team are renewing your vows and commitment to each other. Boom. I bet you didn't see that coming. A simple birthday card as a proof, as a re-up of your commitment to this relationship, that's amazing. So don't lose sight of that. Never skip the birthday cards, and you're on your way. So just to recap one more time, 3 easy ways to make your team love working with you: be honest, jump on grenades, and celebrate birthdays. That's it for today's episode. It's really easy, it's really straightforward, but these are things you can do as a boss every day, every week, every month to keep your team headed in the right direction and keep that right rapport with the people that you work with. Now, before I sign off, I just want to, of course, remind you, please go to mrcorpo.com. You can find out about the new books we have coming. You can find out all the podcast episodes. You can find out about the upcoming book tour coming this winter for How to Be a Boss. Also, you can email me at mrcorpopodcast@gmail.com. I love to get all of your questions and your little nuanced things you're wondering about at work. It can be anonymous. It's just between you and I. It gives me a lot of fodder for the podcast and things like that, so I always appreciate it. Hit me on the social channels at Mr. Corpo on Instagram or Mr._Corpo at Twitter. And without further ado, Rob, shout out for producing another great episode, and let's get to work.